Welcome back to Poetry and Police. Yes, big up all the police officers in Jamaica. Yeah. Big up all the firemen, teachers, the nurses, the warders, the hand cat man, everybody in a Jamaica, who keeps the wheel turning. You understand me? Because Jamaica, people say Jamaica is not a real place. Some people say Jamaica is one of the greatest places on earth. And also, there's a whole lot of contradiction. Jamaica is one of the most violent places on earth too. So Jamaica is a lot of things. But the thing about Jamaica is that our leaders in Jamaica has no vision. The only vision that the leaders have in Jamaica is to see money going into their pockets. And Jamaica does not have dumb leaders, We only have criminal leaders. We only have leaders who care about their pockets more than how they care about the people of Jamaica. Now, this is 2025. All right? And from my observation, brother, rural crimes are taking over Jamaica. And when I say rural crimes, look at a place like Clarendon. In my days, younger days, people that say Clarendon a country, don't people? Country. Back in my days as a youth growing up at Kingston, the whole of the crime and violence there, Zinc Lane. We used to call it Zinc Lane violence. Kingston 13, all of Kingston 13, 11, them places, they used to be the place where a ganglands, those places used to be. Those places was places where police under shootout every day. Huntsby and all them places there. When man are dead every day. I grew up in Manchester, people, a little place named Craighead. I was born in a place named Hibernia. And going to school, I never seen crime and violence when the day I was born. The most me ever see growing up as a youth in Jamaica is man a fight and man a throw a man a fling stone. And I once saw a thief was caught. Because in the country, them used to beat thief. Wicked. Because them people that believe in those kind of justice in a country. A man broke into a shop and assaulted the owner of the shop and took some things, and the community, they was caught, and the community, them, you know what them do? Chop that up. Alright? That is the most violence I have ever seen in my life as a youth. Growing up in the country. And like I said in my other video, we moved to Kingston, and as soon as we moved to Kingston, Missy man get gunshot on my doorstep. Alright? So you see the difference now. But what is happening in Jamaica now, people? That the violence in Kingston now is moving to the rural areas. Look at a place like Manchester, where I grew up in Manchester. I never seen man a get gunshot from the day me born, and all of a sudden man a get gunshot left, right and center in a Manchester. And we are saying in a country. Come here, countryman. And we never see them things there. Most people in my age group never see them things there growing up. And right now, Manchester is being flooded with criminal activities, robberies, murders, shootings. No stone and fling again and be a gunman and fire in the rural communities now. So the crime in Jamaica is taking a shift where Montego be a country area gonna lead in a crime, Clarendon gonna lead in a crime. Why, people? You never stop to think why? Why are crime escalating in these rural areas, especially a place like Manchester, Bush Manchester? People, it is one simple answer to these questions, the lack of police. I'm going to say it again, the lack of police support. The lack of police intervention, people. Because guess what? The government of Jamaica, them feel like if no crime now happen in our area, it will remain like that for the rest of their lives, and that nothing now go escalate. So nothing is put in place for the future. So Jamaican leaders, I am not saying they don't think about the future, They don't act for the future. They don't put things in place to prevent things from happening in the future. Because guess what now? Them have other things to do with taxpayers' money. Like load them pocket. That are going, any smart commissioner of police will touch office must look upon them and say, we need more police stations, We need more police and we need more police stations. But watch out now, Prime Minister. Let me ask you a question. We see now that the trend of crime is moving away from the zinc fences and going on into the mango trees, and we're going into the shoe blocks, going into greenery of Jamaica. That crime is escalating in the country areas of Jamaica. So let's talk about Manchester. We can't talk about Clarendon again, because Clarendon gone. Montego Bay gone. No, we are talking about beautiful Manchester, Mandeville, and the areas surrounding Mandeville. The country, bush areas. Where man now chop up man again, man now fight with rock stone again. A big gun man a fight with. Because the thing is, people, gun is so easy to get in Jamaica these days. A man can just drive from country, take country truck, yam truck, come a town, and when he go back down, he buy a gun and he carry it with him. Because that is how easy the gun thing in Jamaica is nowadays. Gun is easy to achieve, to get in Jamaica nowadays. But me have to, right now, me have to blame the crime in the rural areas now on the leaders of Jamaica. Me can't blame nobody else. I mean, nobody come from my channel come talk about no previous party where they in a power. I want to talk about the party where in a power now. Me talk about the Prime Minister where in a power now. Now me talk about. There's a whole lot of bad things being said about Andrew Holiness, Yes. And good things too. But I see some crimes. A friend of mine told me that he observed that whenever crime happening in Jamaica, Andrew Holiness is kind of, the base of his demeanor is like he feels it, especially the mass murders. He feels it and he reacts genuinely to the thing. But Prime Minister, I don't want you. Yes, a man say you react genuinely to the thing. But what I want you to do now, Mr. Prime Minister, you are the Prime Minister, And like I said to you, Jamaican people, whether you vote for PNP, a Labour right Prime Minister, your Prime Minister, so you have to accept him as your Prime Minister. And if Mr. Prime Minister, you are for the whole of Jamaica, you're not just for the Labour right areas, you are for the PNP areas too, because you are the Prime Minister of Jamaica, not the Prime Minister for Labour right people. Because under the Constitution, a man can vote for anybody he wants to vote for. And not because a man didn't vote for you or a certain community did not vote for you, that no means you know if you fix the road them or you know if you step on crime in those communities. That is what I'm saying to you. No. The rural areas are escalate with crime. What are we going to do, Mr. Prime Minister? Commissioner of Police. Because Commissioner, I know your hands are tied sometime, because you want the best for the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the people of Jamaica. But you have to make the request to Commissioner. From time immemorial, I have been seeing this, observing this, that police presence are deliberate policing then, where police are walk straight, preemptive strikes, preemptive patrols. These are the things that prevent crimes from happening. And we all know that as police. Which police now they work not know that? Always major senior officer in the police work not know that, unless them are idiot. That the presence of the police is a deterrent to crime and violence. So what we need is more police done. But even if we get more police, it's how we use the police what we get. I'm going to say this to you as example. Perfect example, because me love talk of experience, Seaview Gardens, Riverton City, Natty Morgan them days, gangster days. Seaview Gardens was one of the most violent communities, plus Riverton was two of the most violent communities in the Kingston 11 area. Boy, you tell me, ex-police, police we are served, people who live at Seaview and Riverton, Kingston 11 people, tell me if I lie, me I tell. Tell me if I am lying. that Seaview Gardens and Riverton City was once two of the most violent communities in Kingston 11 area. Most violent, right? But what happened? What changes that? That a change came about, because guess what now? Because of the violence in Seaview Gardens, the leaders decided that we're going to put up a police post in Seaview Gardens. And that police post was upgraded to a police station. All right. Crime and violence are killed Seaview and Riverton. I was a young police when I was stationed in Seaview Gardens, and even the morning when we were going to Seaview Gardens, I remember Detective Inspector Gunter looked at us and said, "Oh my God, lamb to the slaughter. Why wouldn't I send him like a young police here in that violent place there?" I remember the first day working in Seaview Gardens, we did not even have firearms to carry. And like an idiot inspector named Campbell talk about, we must go out a street there in a volatile Seaview, go patrol without firearm. And I can remember clearly people like it was yesterday. It was like a baptism. The first day we went on foot patrol in Seaview Gardens, like ends a gunshot. And that is the only time in my life when me ever run from a gunman. Run from gunman. I was so upset at the end of the day. Me live to tell the tales. I was so upset at the end of the day. You know why I was upset? I was upset because I couldn't defend myself and I could not answer 2 gunshots to them boy there. I couldn't fight for myself because we were unarmed. All we had was handcuffs in our waist, and this fool inspector sent out police in a volatile Seaview without gun. All right, we get some gun and we start police Seaview. I tell you this. Within a certain time, between me and a police named Hilton, we arrest everything in sight. We started arresting people so much and we started working so hard that even some boy in the area, so-called done in the area, wanted to get rid of us. And let me tell you something, people. Seaview Gardens community was changed as a result of the presence of police. You hear me say? Seaview Gardens moved from one of the most violent communities in Kingston 11 to one of the best communities in Kingston 11, where we had programs into place. The sergeant put community programs into place where people were getting involved, basketball court, and most of these young men in Seaview Gardens even went on to become police officers and soldiers. Why? And they would come back from time to time and thank the police officers in the area because we changed their lives. So, that is what I am saying to you, people. That police presence is a deterrent to crime and violence. The proper use of police personnel is a deterrent to crime and violence. And you have some idiot leaders who don't know how to manipulate the amount of police officers that is given to them. In Seaview Gardens, we were young cops and we were energized. And we were ready to take on crime and violence. And I remember I took on crime and violence in Seaview Gardens and moved it over to Riverton City, where I controlled, and where I moved up to detective and I controlled Seaview and Riverton crime. Those areas has minimal crime when I was working there. And even worse when I was promoted to corporal. I was able to control the crime in Riverton City and control the crime in Seaview Gardens. And I was able to gain the respect of the people. But so I am saying to you now, Prime Minister, Commissioner of Police, and the reason why I use the Seaview Gardens area and the Riverton City area as an example is because this is what we need to see now. Every single area in Manchester, every little community need to have at least a police post, brother. You can't see crime escalate in the country area. Them, I use one area as example. Manchester escalate. You think other parishes don't go escalate too? Westmoreland gone already too, Westmoreland gone, Clarendon gone, Montego Bay gone. If we lose Manchester, Jamaica done. Me want to understand what me just said to them. Commissioner of Police, Mr. Prime Minister, if we lose Manchester, how we lose Clarendon, Jamaica, done. Because you see, Manchester is where majority of returning residents are living. And if we force our returning residents from coming back because the crime is escalating too much in Manchester, then Jamaica done. Anytime crime and criminals take over Manchester like how they take over Clarendon and Montego Bay, Jamaica has come to its end. I mean, I wonder if you know I listen to what I say to you, a serious thing me I telling about, I predict this, if crime and violence allows to escalate in Manchester more than it is right now, Jamaica will come to an end. Because Manchester now, we are at the pinnacle now, We are at the pendulum, You understand me? Manchester is the balance between Jamaica flipping into a stage where we can't come back from crime and violence, Or we can control it, So if we lose Manchester, we are going to lose Jamaica, Hey, I want them think say a joke me attack, a joke me a make. I don't think a joke me a make. Mister, let me tell you something. As a crime fighter, I study crime. And when I was at Seaview Gardens, I studied the crime. I know when to patrol, and I know when to go home. I know when to stay at the station. I know when to go home too, because you have nights when you have days when I never went home. Nights when I never went home. I stayed at work because guess what? I see some criminal activities brewing in the area, like a little war out to start. So what me do? Me not go home. Because I know that I was the deterrent. Because whenever me there work at Seaview Gardens, no crime no happen. Because these guys know that Blake is always patrolling. And things are going to happen. They know that. So they used to spy on the station to find out if Blake is working. So once Blake is not working, then them try to come out to them foolishness. But once Blake is working, they don't come out. Riverton the same thing too. This is what I'm saying to you, Mr. Commissioner of Police, Prime Minister of Jamaica. I said it to you already, I will say it to you again. You're not Prime Minister in Jamaica for just the labourite people them and the labourite communities them. You are Prime Minister of Jamaica for the entire Jamaica, for every community in Jamaica, whether they vote PNP or whether they vote labourite brethren. And this is where our leaders needs to start being professional and believe that this is a Jamaica thing and not a labourite or PNP thing. You need to start a drive now in 2025, Mr. Prime Minister. You need to sit down with the Commissioner of Police. And you need to sit down with ex-police officers too, who understand and know about crime. Because right now, the way I sit in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you don't have much people with senses. People that use the system to get rich. Or people that use the police department to catapult their political careers. If you allow Manchester to get away from you, Mr. Prime Minister, Jamaica done. Right now, you have to step up the thing in Manchester. And curfews are not going to help. Oh my God, curfews is right now. Curfew is the oldest trick in the book. Once a curfew set up, everybody go hide and go and everybody stop for a little time. That's only a deterrent for a little time. We are talking about permanent deterrent. We're not talking about nothing temporary. If you want something temporary, go set up a camera up on the street at certain corner and let them see that a camera is there. And you see if that not cause deterrent. You don't need for a curfew, nobody. Because curfew does not work. Mr. Prime Minister, Commissioner of Police, me know curfew no work. Because when I was stationed at Huntsville, we have all, you know how much curfews we have, we never find no gun in a curfew yet. But yet still, when you have a deliberate police patrol, because when I patrol, I used to patrol deliberate. I'm going to go and I know me I go find gun. That's the reason I find gun almost every night I work. I found so much weapon, so much illegal firearms that police start talk, say, I may put on the gun them with them wicked and bad mind self. You understand me? But back to the matter at hand. Mr. Prime Minister, Commissioner of Police, all the authorities, the people in Manchester, who have to rise up and request the presence of police, not with a little patrol that instead of the ear or no curfew, but we need police posts to be established in all of these rural communities. We can't have a country like Jamaica who is set like a time bomb when it comes to crime and violence, and you have communities where the response time of police is 2 and 3 hours and 4 hours. I am from a district in Manchester called Craighead. And for us to get police, we will have to call the Warsaw Police by Trelawney, which takes at least an hour or so for them to respond. Now, what kind of thing that in this modern day and age? It's like some place in Jamaica, in a Montego Bay when I was working, still never have electricity. And I couldn't believe that when I was seeing that for the first time. Now, what we are talking about now is places in Jamaica without fire stations and places in Jamaica without police stations. We can't say we are trying to fight crime in Jamaica, yet still we don't have police stations in every community. Every community should have a police station. You want, but let me ask you a question, politician. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Prime Minister. You think that if you start a drive to put police stations in every little district, in the rural communities, you think so you're not going to get help? You have people in these communities will even give their land to build one little station, build one little police post. You can employ the very same people who work in the communities, turn them into district constables, because you have people who are educated and not working, and that is creating another stream of employment for certain people. Turn them in a DC. Turn the people in the area, in the district, in the DC, them know the area and know the people. And you have a one sergeant in charge, and you send one regular sergeant, probably, and 2 regular constables at the station. And with the rest of the staff is just district constables. Nobody know how to live at station. Everybody living in the community. And that is where you get the community involved in a crime too. Involved in the fighting against crime, and get out of one of them new criminals that we are moving at the place. You need to understand, Commissioner, that these criminals are getting smart. Them realize that the pressure turn up on them in a Kingston. That Kingston is a pressure cooker for criminals. So what they are doing, they are filtering. They are migrating into rural areas where the police presence is less or none. So they can carry out them illegal activities or create them base of operation. And you know, the country people, them know, they live so far away from police and from most time that you create a robbery or anything or any murder. Nobody now see that for miles. And they are using that to farm them little gangs into the rural communities like Manchester. Manchester is my home parish. And like I have said before, I grew up in Manchester. I never see no man get gunshot yet. The worst thing me ever see is people, thief get chopped up. As a young guy, Kingston was always known for that crime and violence, not the rural communities. But you know that Clarendon became what it is because of drugs and lack of policing. Montego Bay became what it is because of drugs and lack of policing. Now, are you going to allow Manchester, Mandeville, Manchester to become that? Because that is where Manchester is heading. And I will not say this, I will say this one more time, Mr. Prime Minister and Mr. Commissioner of Police. If you do not tip the scales in Manchester as it relates to crime, tip it backwards, not forward. If you don't tip it in the positive direction for the country, then Jamaica will fall, because when Manchester falls, Jamaica will fall. Most of our returning residents in Jamaica who are spending their money in Jamaica and investing in Jamaica are living in Manchester. Are living in Manchester. And that is not the reason why you should control crime in Manchester. You should be abreast of what is going on, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Commissioner of Police. I can only advise you, Mr. Commissioner. And you can only take this to bro God. But is bro God going to act on it? Country people love police. You need to make sure that you have a police force in every little community so people can respond to the police. Oh, when I sit down and talk, say, oh, not going to my area, man. I just chop up and pray that last me. Well, on there now. I open the eyes now and see some man I get gunshot all in a bush. Man I buy gun left, right, and center. Everybody armed to the teeth now. Everybody have gun. And the rural communities are getting like Kingston. Are getting. And when they get to a Kingston status, Jamaica done. And Manchester is the final parish to be overtaken by crime. And you see what's happening. The criminals have a plan. They have taken over Clarendon. They're taking over Montego Bay. And they're taking over Westmoreland. Kingston take over a long time. Now they are moving to the most essential parish in Jamaica, Manchester. And when they take over Manchester, Jamaica done. I'm going to predict that and telling you that. And if you people don't make a decision now, Jamaica will be overtaken by crime and violence, and we're not going to be able to catch it back. I've said to you, Commissioner, that Seaview Gardens, ask Seaview Gardens people, anybody in Seaview Gardens, what was Seaview Gardens in the Nattimaga and them area and the Sando Camden area? When I went to Seaview Gardens when a man was killed and Sandok and his 9-night was being kept on Sandokan and him and Nattimaga. All of them went to the 9-night and killed 5 people. That was how brutal the Seaview Gardens area was and Riverton City area was. And that was changed. I believe that the whole project Seaview Gardens, Project Seaview Gardens, I call it, with the police post and the police intervention in Seaview Gardens. I believe that one situation there should be a game changer, should be an example that the presence of police and the implementation of police post or police station in communities is the only way that we can reduce our crime rate in Jamaica. Curfew no do a damn thing. And all these little operations you know putting a year of your time. No do a thing. And all these things we don't have police are stationary on one post, only create police, only waste time and waste. Waste time that waste resources. The police stand up on the street and foot patrol in that area for days and stand up one place till they get used to the people in the area. And start sleep with the women and start let down their guards. You need a police station, especially with young police officers who are vibrant and want to see change. That's the only way you can stop crime in Jamaica in these rural communities. You have to create that, Commissioner. If you, Mr. Commissioner, Prime Minister, if you do not start this right now, it will be too late in the next 5 years. It will be too late in the next 5 years or even less. You have to hold it by the neck from now. You have to start implementing police stations right across the island, in every community. And along with that, to a little fire station, I mean, we take money. But the things where you need to understand is that you have people in the community that will help. Because let me tell you something, if you don't go in a little community, say go in my community in Manchester and Craighead right now. And the government want to build a station. You know how much people willing to give piece of land for build a station? You know how much people willing to go and lay 2 blocks? Ah, Jesus. You know how much people willing to go and lay 2 blocks for build them police station? It wouldn't cost the government nothing. To build a police station, you get people going to give a piece of land. My grandfather donated a piece of land. My grandfather donated a room of his house to the government back in the day to build up for post office. And you have people in these communities that will help the police. You need to implement police stations in all of these communities. The response of police, of the police in every community should be under 20 minutes. Under 20 minutes or no less. Under 20 minutes. You going to tell me, say, You know, I use all of the businessman them. When not ready for when not ready for election time. I wanna drive round and I wanna get money from business people and I do this and I do that and I throw away liquor and I throw away money from people to get votes. You believe that if you talk to these businessmen in these communities that they are not going to help to make sure a police station is put in place? And these business people know that the police station is going to benefit them? You think they are not going to assist the country or assist the community? You have a whole lot of people in these communities. All you have to go into these communities and keep a community meeting that we are going to build a police station and we need the help of the citizens in the community. And you will see much help you get. You will get more money to build this station. Even the church will pull, even the churches will come and collect collection for help build a police station. And what the government of Jamaica feel like. The people in Jamaica wants to help in the crime situation in Jamaica. Allow the people to help. But you, Mr. Prime Minister, and the Commissioner of Police have to start the thing. We cannot have a country where crime and violence is so rampant and yet still have communities where the police response is 2-3 hours. You can't have that. You have to drive a nail into the crime and violence in Jamaica. Yes, congratulations. We have a reduction in crime right through the island. It can get better and it can get worse. That me I said to you know. It can get better and it can get worse. Thank God for YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Most people are each up in their house nowadays and do videos to make money. That's why they're not on the street committing crimes anymore. But it is time that the police department takes over the narrative, takes the lead. And the only way the police can take the lead if the Prime Minister of Jamaica invest in the police department and cause police station to be erected everywhere. You have to flood the place with police, because that is the only deterrent for crime and violence. Deliberate policing. We have district constable now. You know how much people in our community can turn into a district constable? All you need in our station, I want corporal, you know? And 2 regular, I want regular constable, and 2 regular detective, and 2 detective to do certain investigation. And the rest are district constable. You don't need more than that. You hear me say? Are you hearing what I am saying to you, Commissioner of Police, Mr. Prime Minister? All you need is a community. The station free already, because you can get that bill free. People will build that. I am saying to you, all you need is a corporal of police. And 2 regular constable and 2 regular CIB police ones for each shift. And that's it. And some district constables, and you have a complete police station staff who will cause reduction in crime in the community or prevent crime from happening in the community, or it is able to respond to the people. 1 vehicle will suffice for now. Yeah, go on like fighting crime hard in Jamaica. Fighting crime does not hard in Jamaica. The hardest thing in fighting crime is to ensure that the police is funded and ensure that the proper things are put in place, like police stations and police cars and police personnel. That's the only thing you don't need to do. I want to have the power to do that already. Jamaica is a rich country. Don't talk about Jamaica poor. Stop loading the pocket with all of the money, Prime Minister and these politicians. Stop load all of the money in the pocket and spend some of the money on the police department in the bit of fighting crime. Well, Kingston alone in the business boat. Manchester go get worse. So Clarendon bad, so Manchester be a bad. Wait. It's hard to police in a zinc fence already, you know. Can you imagine policing in a bush? Among grasses and mango trees and countryside and river coast. You can't go manage that. You not go catch nobody. So so the only thing is to ensure that the crime does not escalate to that magnitude. Whatever you don't listen to me. No, if I want to say me an idiot, you know. But not even the Commissioner of Police We are served right now, Mr. Blake. All due respect to you. Have the knowledge that I have about policing. May I tell you that? And the experience that I have for my few years as a policeman. I worked in the Seaview Gardens community. I control crime in Seaview Gardens. I control crime in Riverton City community. Without proper help. You understand me, people? And it can be done. All the commissioner want is the go ahead. All the commissioner want is the push. All commissioner want is the resources and the funding. Which all the funding does not have to come from government. Like I have said before, if you are going to start a police station in our community, people will help. And it is time for you to start reaching out to the people. You have Jamaicans abroad who will help. You have YouTubers who will help. We'll start GoFundMe. We will do anything to help our country. You think we are afraid? You have Jamaicans who are willing to make Jamaica a better place. And people in Manchester who don't need to put down the foot on a time when you need to start talk up, a time when you need to take back on the parish from the criminals, a time when you need to demand change from the Commissioner of Police and demand change from the Prime Minister himself, not from the MP, no. The Prime Minister is what you need to demand change from. Because whether on a PNP era or Labour right, the Prime Minister is for every area in Jamaica, whether PNP or whether Labour right. And that is one of the sickest points in Jamaica, that if a Labour right Prime Minister is in power, he does not care about the PNP areas. Because he acts as if he is not responsible for them because they did not vote for him. And that is one of the major corruption in Jamaica. And that is a major crime in Jamaica, you know. Their election of duty by the Prime Minister. Me done talking, you know. You better listen to me, you know. And I will say it before I come off of this program, that if you do not control the direction of the criminal activities that are accelerating in Manchester, then this will be the end of Jamaica, you know. If Manchester get out of control, the whole Jamaica is going to get out of control. I'm done talking, you know. Them say warning is good for the soul, you know. Who have ears, make them hear.